Hello, my name is David Kelsey, and I am proud to be the 2021 president of the Association of Bookville Narrate Services. I'm here today to co-host our 11th installment of Membership Mondays, where we feature the many faces of our ABOS family members. The Membership Monday series is part of our 2021 ABOS All Aboard membership campaign. Joining me is my wonderful co-host of the Membership Monday series, Crystal Harris, who is one of our very own ABOS board members, and she's also our ABOS Membership Committee Chair. With us today is Wendy Ramsey, Outreach Services Manager at the Columbus Metropolitan Library in Ohio. Wendy has also served previously as our ABOS Treasurer and as an ABOS Board Member at Large. Welcome, Wendy. It is so great to have you here with us today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the offer to be one of your participants.
We're honored to have you here today, Wendy. So Wendy, how long have you been a member of ABOS?
I became an official member, I believe it would have been late 2011 or 2012. I had been a participant on the listserv since I became part of Outreach Services in the library, which I think was 2009. But we had the opportunity, my manager at the time and myself, I was youth services manager, and we had an information services manager in Outreach Services. We had an opportunity to go all together to Cleveland when the conference was there in 2011. And that's really when I had my first exposure to all that ABOS was. And I was approached while I believe I was attending an open house at the Cleveland Public Library looking at their bookmobile service when Marianne Marjama, who was the current, she was the president at the time, she said, she just came right up and said, I want you to get involved in this organization. And we need a treasurer because our treasurer is rotating off. Who was Edith Isley at the time. So I remember saying to her, the treasurer? I don't even balance my checkbook, Marianne. but they put me on the ballot and, I was elected. So I became the treasurer in 2012. So there've been a few, there was a few years there between 2015 and 2018 that I wasn't an active member because my job shifted to a totally different realm in the library, but then I came back in 2018. So
and we're glad you're a member of ABOS, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What inspired you to become a member of the organization?
Well, I've always wanted, no matter what job I've had in the library, and I've had a lot of different jobs. I have worked for Columbus Metropolitan Library for 40 years. So I've had a lot of different jobs, and I've always looked for an organization that I could align with that would help me in the job. So there was a co-manager in Outreach Services when I came to Outreach, who told me about the ABOS organization and told me about the listserv. So I just felt it was worth it to, align myself with this organization because it is the organization if you work in outreach in libraries.
Yep, definitely agree with that. How have you been involved with the organization, Wendy?
Well, I started right from the get-go being on the executive board as the treasurer. And so I was the treasurer from 2012 to 2015. And incidentally, David, you may not know this, Marianne Marjama was a previous treasurer.
I love it.
For ABOS too. Yep. So there's a little bit of a history there.
Wonderful.
But, yes. And so then when I came back to an outreach related job in
Mhm.
the library, I asked if I could go to
Mhm.
an ABOS conference. So
Mhm.
I came back to Raleigh
Mhm.
for the conference.
Yes, I remember there was a great
And
treasure. We have a great picture with me, you, and Brooke,
yes,
former
yes,
treasurers.
yes. And in the first breakfast of the morning, I walk into the room and there's Rose Hewling, and she's like, "You're back. You want to run for the board?" So I put my name in again and was board member of large
Yeah.
from 2019 and 2020. And during that time, I was chair of the bylaws committee
Mhm.
with our bylaws
Mhm.
revision.
Mhm. It's wonderful. And thank you for all of your contributions
Oh,
over the years,
absolutely.
Wendy. It's been a privilege getting to know you and serving on the board with you. So,
Thank you.
And hey, congratulations on 40 years of service.
yes, 40 years. That's wonderful. Yes, wonderful, wonderful contribution.
Thank you.
So what is your favorite ABOS conference memory?
I had to actually make a list of what city and what date to look at
Mhm.
that. And I have a tie. It's between the Richmond conference in 2012
Mhm.
or the Baton Rouge conference in 2013. One of the things that I love to do, and often when you go to a conference, depending on where it is, you don't really get a chance to see much
Mhm.
about the city. That's one of the things I love about an ABOS conference, because
Mhm.
we're not in big cities. We're in smaller cities and
Mhm.
you get to really have a feel. So there was I believe it was a walking ghost tour that they offered in
Oh.
Richmond, which was really cool. And then in Baton Rouge, there was it just happened that the time we were there, they were having a big barbecue festival. Like, you could just step out the door of the hotel and you were right there in the downtown. And I really like those, I guess, extracurricular activities, because you're hanging out with people that you don't know,
Mhm.
and you're making new acquaintances and new friends. So those have been I think my favorite parts of
Right.
the conferences.
Always a place to make new friends and see old friends. I always say it's a family reunion in a lot of
It
ways, or
it
ABOS
is
conferences.
very much like a family
Yeah.
reunion. Absolutely. I would totally agree with that.
So, Wendy, how has ABOS helped you grow in your career?
Well, the organization has always been there, the members and the people
Mhm.
who get on the listserv. Anytime I had any kind of question that I needed to survey, I could just post something on the
Mhm.
listserv, and you just always get
Mhm.
someone who's either had a similar experience, or I've posted something let's say, looking for a new home delivery bag.
Mhm.
Someone might say, "Oh, I'm glad you asked that, because I'm
Mhm.
also looking for something like that." And I think librarians as a profession, we are sharing people.
Mhm.
There's nothing proprietary. If you have a great tip, you share it with everybody. And so it's just always been there for me anytime I had any kind of question. And I know, in my current position, my supervisor, we've been talking about something, and she said, "I need to try to find out about this or that." And I'll say, "You want me to put it on the listserv? Because, we can find out. We can see if there's anybody else." I recently posted about, looking for information about circulating tablets for
Mhm.
seniors. So I got lots of great leads when I posted. So yeah, it's just helped me all along.
I always say ABOS, the support and the encouragement received, there is nothing like this compared to other organizations. It's really I would say family, because that's what we are. And the support, encouragement, belief, empowerment is really nothing else like that. So,
Well, and I know I was looking at something, and I think there was Willow Gale, who
Mhm.
has been a longtime member.
Mhm.
She's now retired, but she said, it's the one place where you can talk about the generator failing and people know
Yes.
what you're talking about. I mean,
Yes.
you don't have to
Yep.
explain what lobby stop is. Nobody
Yep.
says, what is that? They know. You say these terms and everybody knows what you're talking about, and that there's great comfort in that.
Yeah. Outreach people are the only people to get outreach. Exactly.
Mhm. Okay, so Do you have any tips for those just entering the field of bookmobiles and outreach service?
My tip would be, do not be afraid to reach out and connect with your peers. I think many outreach departments are they may be one or two people operations. That's hard when you're trying to get answers to questions. So I would say dip your toe into the listserv, ask a question. Don't be afraid to ask, oh, somebody, maybe they've already asked this question. Don't just ask it again, and just start to get out there and definitely join ABOS, because it's just going to help everybody in their career.
Mhm. I
That's
agree.
the best advice I have.
Wonderful. Thank you, Wendy. And lastly, why would you encourage others to join ABOS, Wendy?
Well, because being a member, that shows your support.
Mhm.
And when we have the more members we have, the more power we have. And ABOS is really becoming the voice for outreach services. And so you're just helping to strengthen the organization. And that we all know there's strength in numbers. So the more members we have, the more strength we have, the bigger our voice is in the world of libraries. So I think, and it's what good, you get such good bang for your buck.
Mhm.
I mean, it is not that expensive the memberships. Our rate is extremely affordable. I know many people, including myself, pay for it with our own money, but I just feel it's important to throw your support financially behind the organization. So
Thank you, Wendy. It's the best. We always like to say it's the best $49 you will spend. And, like you said, Wendy, it's very reasonable. You get so many benefits. Like, as I always say, my key phrase this year, membership engagement, membership benefits, and membership value are the new focus of our organization. And you get so much out of it. Yeah.
And information costs. There's a cost to information. So if you are listening and you use our listserv and you've gotten valuable information that has helped you in your job, helped your organization, then join the organization, become part of ABOS. I think it's also a very good organization if you want to get involved and have a role, if you want to serve on a committee, if you want to serve on a board. It is small enough that you can get involved right away. And so I think that some people may find that appealing too.
That's wonderful. Beautifully said, Wendy. Beautifully said. Well, we would like to thank you, Wendy, for being our 11th interviewee of the Membership Monday series. It was a pleasure to have you here with us today. We would also like to thank you, Wendy, for everything that you have done and that you continue to do for ABOS and to move us forward, from serving on the board as treasurer, serving as a board member at large, and serving and contributing to committees. It has been a pleasure getting to know you as well, Wendy, as I have served with you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of the Association of Bookmobile and Outreach Services, I would like to thank everyone who joined us today for our 11th Membership Mondays. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a fantastic rest of your week. And don't forget, all aboard.